that humbling experience of being so big that I couldn't fit in a normal sized bathroom stall kind of made me realize and take some evaluations in my life.
Okay, so guys, welcome to Rendezvous episode 2. So this time I have the honor to invite my guest all the way from Houston, USA. So I've never been to USA, so it's great to be able to connect to someone so far overseas, right, with the power of online devices like Zoom, like all this software. So over here, you see on my left or on my right, okay, is Gerald Shotell. Yeah, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Cal.
So how I get to know Gerald is because I've been a fan of Runner's World, their blogs, their articles, all this, right? So when I read about his really inspiring story, I really hope to be able to invite him over to this interview so that I'll be able to share his story to Singapore, my country, and also the rest of Asia as well. So that'll be really inspiring because I believe a lot of us guys, right? We are just at the start of the year, or most of us has made our New Year's resolution, and a majority of the people's New Year's resolution is always to lose weight and start being healthy. Okay, just like to get this started on. I understand, Gerald, just in 2018, in January, you still weigh around 397 pounds. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Almost. I joke and say I was a Big Mac away from 400.
Okay, that was okay. Thankfully, you did not reach that particular milestone.
Right. Exactly.
So
Awesome.
what is the one thing? What is the thing that I know you shared this story before, but I love you to be able to relate this story again. What gets you? What motivates you to finally get started and start loving yourself?
So basically, whenever I'm a principal at a disciplinary campus here in Houston, and so I went into a restroom at my campus, and I had to turn and kind of contort myself in the bathroom stall. And so that humbling experience of being so big that I couldn't fit in a normal sized bathroom stall kind of made me realize and take some evaluations in my life. I'd been big all my life. I played American football, and so I really identified with being big. And so I'm a Christian, and I prayed and I asked God for help because I had tried diets and Weight Watchers and all these other different gimmicks to try to lose weight. And you know, I always had for some reason at different points in my life, liked and enjoyed running. Even though I was a big guy, I ran my first half marathon, kind of trained for that at 350 pounds back in 2015. And I did it just to like mentally say, hey, I did that. And it took me, I think it was like four hours or something like that. It was a ridiculous for a half, but that's kind of what started me, just got tired of being big, asked God for help, and really started writing down my why of why was I still wanting to be big, and what could I do to start that process to change.
Okay, so you mentioned that you have been big all your life ever since since young. And to put into Asians context, because we usually use kilograms instead of pounds. So 397 pounds when you started is around, I did some calculation, is around 180 kilograms.
Oh, wow.
So when you started running your first half marathon that time, I believe you weigh around 350 pounds, which is around 160 kg, but you still managed to complete it. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I still crossed the finish line.
Awesome. So you're still really one determined dude. Salute you for that.
Yes.
So what is you mentioned you started in 2018 January. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the first thing that really worked out for you? The viewers would like to know.
So I decided to use an app called Lose It, and it's a food tracking app. I mean, there's tons out there, but that's the one I chose to use. I read an article in USA Today that talks about New Year's resolutions and things that you could use, and that was one of the apps that they recommended, and so I downloaded it. And what I broke my goal down, I said, I'm going to be consistent in logging what I eat. I didn't care about the calories at the time. I didn't care. I said, I'm going to be consistent for 1 week logging my food. So once I did that, it kind of dominoed. I just set many micro goals. And as I set those micro goals, it dominoed into bigger goals. So, and as time went on throughout that year of hitting different benchmarks and seeing my weight loss, identifying what my trigger foods were, you know, it started me on that path. And then by the 1 year later, I'd probably lost close to 100 pounds.
Wow.
This time last year, during Lent, I committed to changing my diet, and I went totally plant-based. And I had completed my first marathon.
Wow.
And was running my second marathon in the Woodlands, Texas marathon. And since then, I've ran a total of 3 marathons. This Sunday, I'm running my first ultra run, so 31 miles in Dallas Fort Worth at the Cowtown Ultra.
So you're doing an ultra this Sunday, first ever?
Yes, sir.
Wow, really milestone after milestone.
Yes, sir. I'm enjoying it, and it's amazing the running community. What you're doing in Singapore, and I don't think people realize how powerful the running community is.
Wait, is it? So how much do you know about Singapore?
So I don't know that much. Just what we see here in the U.S. I know that y'all are a very developed country. Obviously, you have technology just like us. So I mean, it's like nothing. It's not a stretch. There's more in common here than there's things not in common, other than
just one funny fact. Still, a lot of folks from the US, right, still thought that Singapore is part of China.
Yeah, no. You're
yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So I hope to clarify that to more people in the USA watching this.
Yes,
we
sir.
are our own country.
Yes, sir.
Southeast Asia. So yes, like to understand briefly. I'm sure this particular New Year's resolution that you made in 2018, right? I believe you had made them year after year after year. Am I right?
Oh yeah. So, that's natural in American culture for people to say, I'm going to lose weight, and it doesn't happen. After the first month, people quit.
So why do you feel in the past? What do you think?
Well, I think that I just wasn't dedicated. I wasn't at my low point yet. And I think sometimes people have to hit that kind of rock bottom where they feel that they're kind of lost and they need help. And that's kind of where I was. I was like, okay, I was tired, and I basically was tired of being big.
Yes.
And so when you get to that point, that's kind of what's propels most people into it.
I can really relate to that, because for myself, right, I was going through a mental and physical crisis just last year in 2019 May. That is also when I just started to get active again, and since then I also thankfully not as much as you. I managed to lose around 14 kilograms. But for Gerald himself, I think you lost at least a person, I would say, around 70 to 80 kilograms. Okay, that's more than my weight at the moment. Really salute to you, sir, man.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I would like to share, I believe the community would love to understand more about your experience of your first ever marathon. I read on the Runner's World, right, that your first marathon, you decided to participate because there's the cutting line, the cutting time, right, is around 8 hours. So we believe you are able to achieve that, and you managed to finally fulfill that in around 6 hours and 17 minutes. Okay, that was amazing. So how was that experience, the first ever marathon?
So what was nice about it was I did the run walk method. Some people might be familiar with, I believe it's Jeff Galloway's training. And so I would run for 5 minutes, walk a minute. And so I, once again, breaking things into manageable chunks, it was very doable, very enjoyable. And there were a lot of people there that were doing it like that. And so I really, it taking it slow
Mm.
allowed me to enjoy the moment. And so with
Wow.
as each mile came to the flag,
Mm.
I just took it all in.
Mm.
And it was pretty much
Mm.
probably by the time I hit mile 17, I was like, hey, I got this. And
Yes.
I just kept going and really enjoyed it. And
So prior to this marathon, what was the longest mile that you have ran?
oh, just probably uh, the half distance, maybe 14 miles,
14 miles.
but nothing
Yeah.
nothing to the level of a marathon.
How do you manage to train for it successfully? How many days are you running per week or something?
So right now I run 6 days a week. I have a run coach
Mm.
here in Houston. His
Mm.
name's Juan Arietta, and he coaches me. He actually works in the school district I work in, so it's nice to have that availability right there.
Mm.
But
Mm.
yeah, I run about 6 days a week, and some
Wow.
are uh, the training plan he has me on right now. My long runs
Mm.
are 16 miles. That's the longest that I go.
Mm.
But basically,
Mm.
some midweek runs are longer,
Mm.
and then some are easier. But
Mm.
it's all about pacing and
Mm.
and staying in those right zones.
Yeah, I would say most important is consistency. Keep on
Yes, sir.
going. So,
Yeah.
also like to understand briefly. Do you suffer any setbacks along the way, like injuries that keep you out?
Knock on wood, I haven't had any injuries, but there's
Mm.
days that sometimes you wake up and you're
Mm.
tired and you say,
Mm.
I really don't feel like doing this.
Mm.
So I think uh, don't beat yourself up about it. I mean, if you miss a workout,
Mm.
you go back the next day like anything. And
Mm.
that's kind of how I approach my weight loss.
Mm.
If I had a bad day, I come back the next day and get after it. If I had a bad week, I'd go back and say, okay, this is a point to start over. Nothing is, nobody's going to die because you
Mm.
missed a workout. Nobody's going to die because you had a bad week. You just start back over and you get back on the horse and you
Mm.
keep moving forward. And I think
Mm.
that's the mindset that you got to have if you want to be successful when achieving a big goal like that.
Mm.
Is have that ability to work through
Mm.
setbacks.
Wow, really well said.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just saw on your Facebook you also recently shared your interview on Fox News. That was very
Yes, sir.
interesting as well. So you also brought along your super big size jacket to the
Yes,
show.
sir.
Do you still have the jacket?
Yeah, I still have that
Okay.
jacket, and so it's hanging. It's hanging in the
Uh,
closet. But
so recently you have to spend a lot of money to buy new clothes already, I believe.
well, actually, it's funny you say that. I actually visit thrift shops.
Mm.
So like we call them Goodwill here. People donate clothes that they're gently worn or whatever, and
Mm.
people can go in and purchase them, and
Mm.
they take the donations and give
Mm.
them to the people
Oh,
that are in need. And so that way I didn't have to spend a lot of money on a brand new wardrobe because at
awesome.
different points in my weight loss journey,
Mm.
I was losing, you know, 10 to 15 pounds like every 2 weeks.
Mm.
So it was kind of like hard on buying clothes. So I was just like, I'm
Mm.
going to the cheapest way to get
Yes.
clothes.
Yeah, I believe you have to continue doing that as you continue to shed the pound.
Yes.
I
Hmm.
would say. So for I'm for myself, I'm very excited to be able to visit USA for the first time in October for the Chicago Marathon.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah, so one of my goals this year that I set myself is to complete the majors by the time I reach 50 years old. So of course, Chicago and New York and Boston will
Yes, sir.
be three of the pit stops. So yeah, I'll be happy if that during that time I'll have a chance to see you if you are there as well. That would be great. Have you participate? Have you planned to participate in any of the major marathon?
No, I haven't. I haven't really ever thought about that, but that'd be something awesome to try.
Okay, great. Okay, so last but not least, right? I also love to hope you can give some words of inspiration, right, for all those beginners who are still struggling with their health, with their fitness, right? What is the tip that you can give them so that they can really start loving themselves and really get this thing going?
So don't worry about the end
Mm.
of the journey. Worry about the starting point. So,
Mm.
like I said, break it into micro goals.
Mm.
Anything you're starting, whether it's running. So don't think about a marathon. Think
Mm.
of a couch to 5K,
Okay.
or some kind of fun run, just
Mm.
something simple to
Mm.
get you going.
Mm.
And my first mile was 17-minute mile.
Mm.
And so you might start off slow, but now I can run a mile in 8 minutes and about 24 seconds.
Mm.
So, where you start at is not where you're going to finish.
Mm.
And it took you a lot of years to get out of shape. So it's going to take time to get you in shape. So be patient with that journey and enjoy it.
Mm.
Enjoy the moments.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for the wonderful tips.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank
all
you.
in all, to summarize, is to just get started regardless.
Mhm.
Okay, and get moving and off the couch. That's great.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so great. Thanks for Gerald for the interview today. Very, very
Oh,
awesome.
thank you,
So
Kyle. I
yes,
appreciate it.
I'll be supporting you in your continuous journey towards achieving milestone after milestone. And good luck to your first ever ultra marathon. I'm sure you'll do
Thank
well.
you, Kyle. I really appreciate that. Thank you,
Okay, so
sir.
thank you. So see you again. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.